Hey everybody, the Swag Chef here with another Destiny video. My previous video featured me dismantling all of my hard-earned gear from the past 4.5 years. While I was sifting through, I saw a bunch of sunset weapons that I really never gave a fair shot, gathering dust in a corner of my vault. There were also many weapons that have great rolls on them, but once they were sunset, I never really picked them up again. This is going to be the beginning of a new series of videos that showcase some of the sunset gems that, if you have one, will be a very fun addition to your arsenal in activities where light level doesn't matter. You'll be able to use it in strikes, you'll be able to use it in normal crucible with no problem and still have a blast. Now, I don't want to worry you, I'll still be putting out content on relevant weapons and I'll be hyper focused on the Witch Queen when it comes out. But I'll try to sprinkle in a couple of these here and there. Now today, we're looking at the Proelium FR3. This was a fusion that first dropped in the Warmind DLC with static rolls. Literally, Season 3 of Destiny. It was re-released in Forsaken with random rolls, and you were able to farm for it until it was eventually sunset. Now, this fusion comes with a host of good rolls. However, it wasn't until recently that they could be put to good use. Rapid fires were definitely not my favorite archetype to use when the Proelium was still viable. This was before high impacts got their nerf. I only really collected them because 1, I'm a crazy fusion rifle enthusiast, and 2, I wanted to try and get backup plan on literally everything. Nowadays, with rapid fires being hugely buffed and backup plan being in the sorry state that it is, most of the rolls that I held onto are usable but somewhat disappointing. When comparing Proelium to some of the more common rapid fires you see in the Crucible today, it doesn't really stand out as best in class in terms of anything. It's completely inferior or ties in most stats when compared to Null Composure and Zealot's Reward, and is more or less comparable to the Cartesian coordinate, outside of the Cartesian's ridiculous aim assist stat. The recoil sits nicely at a 45, so at the very least you don't need to use a counterbalance mod. What makes Proelium a real winner when compared to the other fusions is, just like my timelines, the perks. The Proelium FR3 has some heavy hitting, meaty perks that sends it into the atmosphere. It comes with scopes that increase the range and zoom factor. Most of the traits in the first column are top shelf, like Under Pressure, Firmly Planted, and Moving Target. The second column is much of the same. All of the perks are either good or great, with only a couple of letdowns. This means that if you do have a Proelium tucked away in your vault, it's probably at the very least decent. My roll comes with the Signal MS5 scope, Projection Fuse, Under Pressure, Rangefinder, and a Range Masterwork. While I wish I had Firmly Planted instead of Under Pressure, with a magazine size of 7, Under Pressure is active pretty much all the time with just a little bit of planning. All of those range boosts takes the range stat up to 59 from the original disappointing 32. The zoom increase from both rangefinder and the scope pushes the damage fall off all the way to 22.5 meters. To put this number in perspective, that is nearly 2 full meters farther than my god rolled timelines. When doing actual testing, while damage falloff did begin at 22.5 meters, I was able to consistently get kills at around 23.5, hitting a wall at 24 due to damage drop off and needing to hit all 9 bolts, which is still entirely possible. To me, that is extremely impressive for a rapid fire frame fusion. When I tried to do the same with Null Composure and my best rolled Cartesian coordinate, it wasn't even close. They both struggled to put down a Guardian at 21 meters. Proelium lives in that 21 meters all day, every day. And
even further beyond!
While Null Composure might be superior stat-wise at a base level, it doesn't have the perks to push up its consistency and to back up those stats. Proelium has that and more. My roll isn't even the best it could possibly be, and it still runs circles around other fusions. For me, the thing that makes Proelium stand out against the other fusions is consistency. Just like my Timeline's Vertex, it's an Almalon fusion rifle. It's much easier to shoot. The recoil at 45 is vertical, it does kick straight up. Between the scopes and all the range that it has, having under pressure really keeps the bolts nice and tight, which I can't really say for Cartesian and No Composure. When I tried to get those 21-meter kills, the recoil was all over the place. Even though No Composure should have that vertical recoil at 55, it still kicks wildly left and right. For whatever reason, I feel that No Composure and Cartesian Coordinate are just much more difficult to control, while Proelium is extremely manageable. In the background gameplay, you can see just how easy it is to use the Proelium. Up close, it's a monster. From downtown, it can put in work. It has close and mid-range totally covered, so I pair it with a kill clip messenger as my long range option. I would usually run Top Tree Voidwalker for Axions, however when starting a new recording session, I forgot to switch back to Voidwalker after playing PvE and ended up just running Middle Tree Dawnblade using the Well of Radiance. It was actually really nice. Using the charged healing grenade came in clutch multiple times and had pretty much 100% uptime when using the fireball grenades. With 100 discipline, the base cooldown was 24 seconds, and whenever you would proc Benevolent Dawn, the cooldown would be accelerated even further. Between the well, empowered melee, charged with light, I had a damage buff pretty much all the time, taking Proelium from a 7-bolt kill to only needing to land 6 out of the 9. This is definitely a fun gun to use in activities where light level doesn't matter. A lot of people have been running Main Ingredient and Timeline's Vertex ever since Xur sold them, and that they can now be farmed in the Dares of Eternity. Adapt, improvise, overcome. The 460 charge time blows Precisions and Adaptives out of the water, and it's in a class of its own when compared to the other rapid fire frames. I would like to thank you all for watching this video and for your continued support all this time. Your support means the world to me, and if you liked the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, as that really helps me out. Just about 2.5 weeks until the Witch Queen drops, and I couldn't be more excited. This has been the Swag Chef, and I hope to see you in the next one.